So welcome back to my garage door insulation project. This is actually day 2. The first day that I started this was July 3rd. We took off, went and hung out with my brother for the day. So this is actually now July 5th, and I'm going to finish this up today. So you'll probably notice that I've already got the double-sided tape on here, and on the vertical pieces. It's pretty much all ready to go. One of the things that nobody else actually mentioned in their videos that I kind of wanted to maybe touch on that might help you if you're thinking about doing this. So when you're going to lay down this tape, so for instance right here, I'm a righty, so I'm going to work from left to right. So what I did was I set my tape, I tacked it, held it in place, and stretched it across here. And then once I got it stretched, I then slowly set it down to where I wanted it. And you'll notice I've got some nice clean lines here as a result of that. I didn't try to do a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here, and let it walk up and down on me. So it made some nice clean lines. Not that you're ever gonna see that, but I just saw a couple of people in their videos really struggle with that. So if you're thinking about doing something like this, just tip, sit it down, tack it, hold it, stretch it out, get it even where you want it to be, and then come back and then just tap it down, because if you try to do this, you'll end up stretching the tape out, and you'll make the tape go whichever way it wants to go, and then you might be unhappy with the results. So anyway, so I got the double-sided tape on these next couple of panels. I'm going to put, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to raise this garage door up so that I'm working on it here at comfortable working level and not down there. Another helpful tip: raise it up to where it's easy to work on. Don't try to fool with that. The other thing that I said that I was going to do, I said that I was going to put the factory edges all at the top. I'm not. So after thinking a little bit more about this, what I'm going to do is once I pull that double-sided tape off right there, I am going to lay the factory edge right on top of this so that we have a nice, smooth butt edge right there. And I'm going to butt them together. That way, when this door is closed, the insulation is sealed, there's no gap in it, and it should help with the insulation value of the door. So that is my plan. I'm going to get this thing up, and I'm going to put this thing on a tripod, and I will actually show you how I insulate this panel and just kind of show you how it goes. A couple of little things that I learned along the way. Maybe I can pass them along to you. Okay, be right back. All right, so I'm back, I'm ready. As you can see, I got my double-sided tape off of, or actually the backing off the double-sided tape, and I'm ready to roll my insulation across. So I apologize for the background noise. My neighbor decided it's going to be cool to start mowing his grass right about now. Yeah, who am I to say when he can mow his grass? But anyway, cool. I like my neighbor, by the way. He's cool. So what I'm going to do, this one's going to be a little tricky. So let me show you just some initial thoughts. This hinge is going to be interesting because, as you can see, it has the roller in it. So I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to take this one loose. I might, but it's probably going to be a little bit tricky. Maybe I'll try it and let you learn from my mistake. But this one here should be a piece of cake. We'll just undo this, roll it down. So initially what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the insulation here, and then I'll get it stuck here, and I'll stick it across this panel to about here, and then I'll just kind of let the roll hang. And then what I'll do is I'll come back. Well, I might come back at the end and do the end cap, but then what we'll do here is we'll undo this and undo this, roll the insulation underneath it, and keep going with it across the panel. So let me get started. Again, we'll learn from this. I'm not exactly 100% sure what I'm going to do with this end piece, but we'll give it a shot. So anyway, like I said, I'm just going to overlap this. I'm going to butt it up to the end, get it there, and then maybe I'll take this loose, lift it up, put it down. I can definitely take this one loose, pull it down, and lay it back up. But probably what I'm going to do is I'll save that for last, and we'll just work our way across the panel. All right? So let's get going. So this stuff, so I have a 16-inch garage door, or 16-foot garage door, and each of my panels are 21 inches. The insulation roll comes 24 inches wide and 16 feet long. So it's perfect for my garage door, except I've got to trim 3 inches off once I get it laid down. Now, like I said, this one, I'm going to butt it to the bottom of this so that I make a nice, clean, air gap free joint there on that side. Probably a little trickier as I go up, because obviously I'm going to have to trim this top one, and depending on how good I am at trimming it, you know, it won't be air gapless, but you know, then again, neither is this garage door anyway, so it'd be close. So let's get going. Alright, so we're going to start just by getting this in place. I'm going to set the insulation roll there, make sure it's at the end. Whoops, let's get it all the way to the end. Got it. And we'll set it right down on that tape. That. And then we'll just kind of roll this across. Make a nice tight gap. Get this straight. We'll seal it up there to hold it. And now that it's being held, I'm going to just kind of let it fall. And then I'm going to do, oh, that's actually going to be tricky, isn't it? We'll have to figure that out. But what I'll do is I'm going to undo this one, lay it down, pop it back up, have that secured, and then we'll have to trim that one as we go. So let me get my drill and my 7/16 inch bit. And we will, can you see this? Yeah, let's do this. All right, so we'll undo this. Time to charge the battery. All right, so let's keep these handy because we're going to put them right back in. So I'm going to lay this down, take this panel, and we'll go right over the top of that and keep it lined up. And then we'll turn around here. Let me do this so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to lay this back down, and I can see where my screw holes were by the way they marked that. So I'm just going to take that, punch it right back through, find the hole on the other side, and where's my other screw? There it is. Now just I'm going to torque this at about 16 foot-pounds for the moment, and then I'll come back and I'll tighten it up. That way this insulation has a chance to just compact, and I'll come back and tighten it up in a little bit. I just didn't want to over tighten it and, you know, risk stripping it out or anything like that. I'll tighten them by hand. All right, so let's turn this and we'll continue our trek across the garage. So again, we'll line it up on the bottom. Get it nice, straight, flat. And I'm going to come back up here and I'll lay it down, let it hold it up for me. And then I'm going to come over here and we'll take this hinge loose. Just make sure we run it straight across here. And tighten this back up. Now that I got this up, can't see what I'm doing. Change this. So now that I got this up, I got this smooth and set. I'm just gonna come up here, this across. That way it's holding it. We're going to come back over here and we're going to put this hinge together before we take one apart. And again, I can see my screw holes because of where they were. The question is, can I find them again? There we go. Again, I'll tighten these by hand in a little bit, but I'm gonna just kind of keep working across here. So, tell you what, so that you don't watch me, you know what, you might want to see what kind of a struggle this is. It's not bad, but, so we're gonna leave this just like this. I'll work over here. I'm gonna take this one loose. Save my that bolt. I'm going to lay the hinge down and just repeat. So I'm just going to work. I'm going to lay that flat, punch that behind the hinge, seat that up there. I'm straight and flat along this edge. Dude, it's looking good. So I can tight that right there just to get it to hold it. And find the screw that I dropped. Tighten back up. Alright, again, just gonna sort of pseudo torque them, let it start pulling that insulation down, and we'll do things. So now we have to make a decision, because I got to figure out what I'm going to do here on the ends. So again, I'm just going to lay this thing all flat, get it to come across here, across the top, tack it down really good, and dude, it looks so good. Look at this joint. So check this out. So this is what I was talking about. I put that factory edge up next to the factory edge, and look at that. It's just nice and clean and smooth across there. I don't even have a gap in it. If you're going to do this, make sure that your two panels are level. This one I guess we'll reset that one a little bit. All right. Here's one for you. Learn from my mistake, okay? I thought that it would be a good idea. Take this thing, run across the bottom, get all the bottom done, and then come back and do the top. Guess what? I can't get to these bolts anymore. So I'm gonna have to pull the insulation down a little bit, which might mess with my double-sided tape. So the lesson is, do it as you go across. So we'll do the next panel that way and learn from it, okay? Okay, so I told you that I would tell you what I did on the end cap of these things. So it turns out that taking this piece loose is not a huge big deal. The problem is this bolt is underneath this pin right here. But here's a trick. If you roll your garage door up higher than this so that that pin is somewhere up here in the radius, you can take that one bolt out. It exposes itself. It's no longer under that, whoops, sorry. It exposes itself and it's no longer underneath that, that pin right there. So you can get it out a little bit easier. I used an open end wrench because I had it down near flat and it was a pain in the butt. It took forever. Lesson 2, when you do these cuts, get them right the first time. And I will say that the razor blade that they included in the packet is already dull. It doesn't do a good job. So I pulled out my trusty knife and put a brand new razor blade in it. And it worked really well. The problem I had, let me show you this. The problem I had was that I cut this one a little bit long and then I went back in there and tried to trim it. You see how that edge, it's not gross, but it's not as straight as I would like for it to be. So basically what I did is I stuck my razor blade in the crack and I just ran it down the crack. The problem was that I didn't have it set down underneath the hinges just yet, so it wasn't flat, so it radiused out a little bit. If I try to trim that now, it's just going to get ugly, so I'm going to leave it and just kind of work around it. I'll take the next edge and just run with it. But everything else turned out really, really well. The end pieces came out good. Third lesson, 3. One of the things that I successfully did on the bottom panel was I put a factory edge right at the edge of my door frame. Somehow I got this one long, and so I had to cut this edge and the other side. And so I don't know, anytime you have to cut it more than once, you increase the chance of screwing up, boogering edges and that kind of stuff. So whichever way you start, right to left, left to right, get it set at the end so that you only have to cut one end of it, and that'll help too. So I will say, while I think, in my opinion, this is a super clean. It's a super clean looking installation so far. It takes time. I think I might have an hour in that panel, so I've got 2 more hours to get these other 2 panels up. I fully intend on this top panel to take this rail down. That way I can get all the way to the top of the door with the insulation. So I'll take that rail down, I'll get it all the way up there, put the rail back up when I'm done. I don't know. If I'm going to do this, I want to do it right. I want to do a good job. I want to make sure that it's well insulated and done right. And there's my daughter. And I'm glad I wasn't doing anything with the garage door at the time. So that said, we'll get to the next panels. All right, welcome back. I got my third panel up. As you can see, I have 3 sections of my garage door done. I learned from my mistakes. Got a nice clean line on this cut. Got it laid under the hinges very well this time. Overall execution was much better. I learned from it. I got a nice clean gapless line across the seam there, and it looks pretty good. So now we're going to go for the top piece, which should be fun and interesting. And I'm going to get that top bar off, and then yeah, and then free up my sticky tape and lay it on there. All right, so I'm finally finished. So what do you think? Got it all finished, trimmed up. I went through and tightened every hinge bolt that I undid, and I think it looks pretty darn good. I got nice tight seams. See, I got the thing lined up pretty good all the way across there. So I mean, that should help from a crack standpoint, keeping air from leaking in. And got the bar up, got the top trimmed up, and everything put back together. And yes, the garage door works. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. We will see how it changes the temperature of this garage. Like I said when I started this video, I don't remember how hot it was outside, but I came out here at about 6:30 in the evening. The garage door was 115 degrees. The inside wall, which is behind me, was about 90, and the outside wall over here was 100. So I'm sure a lot of that came in through this garage door. So we will see how the insulation helps. Overall, I would recommend this product. It's It's maybe not what I was looking for originally. Originally, I was looking for something, foam insulation panels that I could put inside of each of those panels and not have to do something like this. But in the end, I think this is going to be better. I've got good seals between the cracks, and I just think it's going to be a good, this is going to be a good vapor barrier and a good heat and cool barrier for this particular garage. So like I said, before I post this video, I'm going to come back out here with my thermometer. Of course, I don't know how hot it was the day that I tested this. Since I'm just now finishing the insulation process of the door, it's going to be hotter out here in the room than it would be on another day. So maybe what I'll do is I'll wait a couple of days, and over the next couple of days I'll take some averages of what that garage door temperature is and what the ambient of the room is, all that good stuff, and I'll let you know how it is. Okay, so if you like this video, if it was helpful, you know, give me a thumbs up. I'll try to keep some more of this stuff coming. So this is just kind of the stuff that I like to do. I am, you know, engineer by education. Like doing this kind of stuff, and if I can help someone else while I'm doing what I need to do, then more power to it. So y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.